Jake Paul started off the new year with the challenge for Dana White. He posted to Twitter saying that he would retire from boxing and sign a one-fight deal with the UFC if Dana did these three things. 1. Increase minimum fighter pay from $12,000 to $50,000. 2. Guarantee UFC fighters 50% of the UFC's annual revenue. 3. Provide long-term health insurance to all fighters. He went on to say, you have 5 days to accept and implement the above by March 31st, 2022. Once implemented, I will immediately retire from boxing, enter USADA, and agree to a one-fight deal with the UFC to fight Weak Chin George. Dana White was quick to respond with his own challenge.
I got a challenge for Jake Paul.
Give it to me.
So this guy keeps saying that I'm a cokehead, right? He can randomly cocaine test me for the next 10 years if I can randomly steroid test him for the next 2.
With no response from Paul, Dana took to his Instagram for some follow-up. Here's what he had to say.
Jake, you never responded to the challenge. You publicly stated that I use cocaine. I do not. So I told you, you could randomly cocaine test me for the next 10 years. I believe that you're a cheater, and I believe that you use steroids. So I want to randomly steroid test you for the next 2 years. And that thing that you came out with today, nobody on earth thinks that you really wrote that. You're too stupid. And for those of you that don't know, if you've ever watched one of his fights and you see when they do the stare down, the guy that's standing in the middle with the warlock nose and the big warlock wart on his face, apparently that's his manager. And that guy used to be an accountant for me. And let's just say this, he no longer works for me, and I think he's a scumbag. But if you two think that you can do it better than we do, we're doing this whole thing wrong. You could treat the fighters better than we do. Knock yourself out. Go start your own business. It's easy to do. Go get the Warlock on it. The Warlock can get it started for you. What you and the Warlock should be focused on is your business. You're tanking. You can't sell pay-per-views. You're calling out Jorge Masvidal because he's a pay-per-view superstar. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, Mike Tyson. These are all superstars. You're not. You can't sell pay-per-views. So you do whatever the hell you want to do. I'm ready to roll, buddy. I don't use cocaine. Do you use steroids? Let's do this, Jake.
Jake then tweeted saying, quote, how many current and former UFC fighters are actually going to get behind my offer to Dana? Y'all want to see me get my ass kicked in the octagon, right? Y'all can make a difference here. He tagged many of the UFC's biggest names, including Khamzat Chimaev, who quickly responded with a tweet saying, @Dana, let me smash this bullshit boy. What do you guys think will happen next between Dana and Jake Paul? Let's talk combat in the comments. UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou says that he won't re-sign with the UFC unless boxing is part of his new deal. In a recent interview with TMC Sports, he had this to say.
Talked to you before about boxing and wanting to see how it would go against, the elite boxers in the world. Is that something down the line? I know your background's in boxing. Still interested?
He has always been down the line. This is something that I'm not taking my eyes off it. This is gonna happen either way. And even if I stay, or when the UFC and I we finalize a deal, the boxing part has to be into it, because I can't see myself how to retire without boxing.
Is there somebody you'd want to test yourself, whether it's, Tyson Fury's or Deontay Wilder's, those type of guys, right?
Yes, all of them. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. I would like to test myself to their level. It's not the same sport, but although I'm the champion, so I'm in the top in this division. And at the end of the day, it's just about throwing hands, throwing punches, having a good delivery system to throw those bombs. And I'm sure that if I deliver my own punches pretty good, I can make some damage.
That's going to do it for this video. I hope you'll consider hitting the like button, subscribing, and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Thanks guys, and take care.